Hello, hello. This is the Donbozos podcast, and welcome to another episode. My name is Aiden, and I'm joined today by my good friend and co-host Jeremy. Jeremy, how are we doing today?
Pretty good. Started testing a bit more now that we are registered for Fresno regionals in
Yeah,
Pokemon.
which we will talk about shortly in this podcast. I, on the other hand, still been playing League, trying to hit that Masters. I've actually am D3 17 LP right now. So I was D3 90 a couple days ago, then I dropped a little bit, but that's okay because I'm still D3. I didn't go back down to D4 just yet. But yes, testing a lot, and we'll talk to you guys on the podcast about our new testing team and things like that, which is going to be very, very exciting. But let's go ahead and go over what we will be going on this podcast. Only Pokemon League of Legends for today, guys. So if you guys are here to listen about Valorant or Teamfight Tactics, you can go ahead and skip this episode of the podcast. But we appreciate you guys coming and watching. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about our recurring segments, local recap, and what is he cooking for Pokemon. We'll then talk about the EUIC Finals because I know last week we were in the middle of EUIC and we talked about kind of some surprising decks, some decks that we expected. But now we're going to be talking about the finals. The winner of EUIC. And after that, we'll go ahead and go into Jeremy. You have a segment that you want to do. We'll talk about some up and coming decks for the meta. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and talk about some BDIF predictions as well going into our next few regionals. And for League of Legends, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the new patch notes, the MSI patch. I know last week we said that we were on the MSI patch, but we totally didn't know there was another patch coming. So now we are currently on the MSI patch. We'll be talking about our skin review, of course, a new patch, and we'll talk about the MSI bracket that just got released earlier today or this weekend. So that's really exciting. And we'll end off there. So, Jeremy, have anything else to say, or shall we get going?
I'm ready to begin.
All right. So, starting off with the Pokemon trading card game, we're going to go ahead and go into our recurring segment, local recap. But Jeremy and I did not go to any locals this week because our weekly Wednesday local, Chris's Comics, was closed due to Chris having COVID. So, Chris, we wish you the best and a quick and speedy recovery. And we hope to see you next time. But instead of local recap, we're going to go ahead and cover about what decks we have been testing because Fresno regional signups came out this past weekend, and we both signed up, as well as Douglas and Gio, guests from other channels, and as well as a lot of people that we are friends with from our testing team. So we have a new testing team, right, Jeremy? What are we called?
Yeah. The Tofu's testing team, the TTT.
Yeah, the Trouble in Terrace Town. No, yeah, the Tofu's testing team. And hopefully we'll be able to get our Tofu shirt by then, and we'll be representing Tofu's trading the shop. And we created a testing server with a lot of sheets and whatnot. I don't know if we're going to release like the notes or sheets after Fresno. I'll be down. It's up to you guys, the viewers and listeners, if you guys want that. But basically, there's like at least like 10 to 12 of us getting rigorously testing, and we got our first data points in today, and it's pretty exciting. So, Jeremy, what deck or decks have you been testing recently?
Before this format, I was testing a lot of Artistina, so I just wanted to try something else because I've been playing that deck for like a long ass time. So I've been trying to play some Miraidon. I want to play Miraidon because it was sort of a faster deck, and I tend to like the faster just two prizers, just hit energy, hit attacks, and just try to get like boss game. And I really like I believe it was the top 8 list from EUIC, so I just took based off that list, and then I made some changes to it.
Yep. And a lot of people are disappointed in me in doing this, but I am now testing Lost Box. I know people called me RCS One Trick, Rogue Decker, Control Player, but I am now giving in and testing Lost Box. I am currently testing a Sable Zard deck, but it's not just any Sable Zard. It's running 3 Miragiates with Delphox V, as well as some other Vs like Raikou and Drapion with the Sky Seal Stone. I tested it today, and it does pretty good. It runs just as well as Stable Zone. I got 2 Pokegears, but the issue is Goodra, and we'll get into Goodra later. But I'm a believer in the Delphox. At the card art 1K, I brought Arceus Delphox. I want to try and make Delphox work. I think the card is super sick, and I think it's a curveball that a lot of people might not see. But after today, I kind of want to test, Jeremy. Don't get mad. Lost Zone Kyogre. Um, with
Mm.
Zamazenta, with the Crown Zenith Zamazenta and the Dragonite V, and Raikou V. So we have 3 energy types: water, lightning, and metal. I kind of want to test that, but I want to bring the Fox to regionals. All right, I'm a Fox believer, and I want to keep using it. Again, the only matchup I see in the future is tough is Goodra, and I think with enough playtesting, I can get around it. But we'll have to see. So yeah, Jeremy, any other decks that you want to talk about that you've been testing?
Not really. I think those I've been just focusing on Murad. I'm trying to like get the best list I can, but I'm still like in the early stages of doing that right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a Murata player in our Tofu's testing team, correct? We have Matt.
Yeah.
And I tested against him today. He did not expect a Galarian Zapdos V with the Skyslow Stone and may or may not have taken some knockouts on Regielekis. But he's learning the matchup, which is why we test.
Yeah.
So if you guys are going to regional, whether it be upcoming, is it Orlando? Yeah, upcoming Orlando regional, or go to Fresno regional, or even go to NAIC. I always test. Spend those hours testing because it is well worth it. All right, shall I
Yeah.
move on to our next segment?
Yeah. I
Uh,
am ready.
all
Yeah.
right, we're moving in to our fan popular recurring segment. What is he cooking? What is he cooking is a segment where Jeremy and I scour PokemonCard.io for some decks, and we just have to ask the people there, what is he cooking? So I will go ahead and go first, and this is a poison deck. Yes, I know it's not, some people need to get more creative with the titles, like the Kyogre EX Beam Blaster. Okay, this deck is kind of, this deck's cooking. So for your draw engine, you have Radiant Greninja and you have Liepard Trade. Trade is the same thing as Refinement. Discard 1, draw 2. Now you may be wondering, how does this deck take knockouts? Well, first you use the Garbodor V. Use the first attack, Trash Stench. Your opponent's Pokemon is now poisoned, and during your opponent's next turn, that Pokemon cannot retreat. So how poison works is in between turns on Pokemon Checkup, you take 10 damage. But usually people would just retreat and remove the poison off their active Pokemon. But Garbodor V makes it so you cannot retreat. And then on the next turn, you use the Hisuian Sneasler. As long as this Pokemon is on your bench, your active Pokemon retreat cost is 2 less. So then what you do is you retreat with the Garbodor and you go into the Alolan Eradicate. And what that does is you, for Super Fang, for 3 colorless energy, put damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon until its remaining HP is 10. And then that Pokemon will be knocked out through poison. So this is what this player is cooking. And Garbodor has 3 retreat, so the Hisuian Sneasler plus the Beach Court makes a free retreat. You have the Arvin and things like that to get set up, as well as the 4 Judge to make sure that they stay locked, as well as the 4 Boss's orders to get that knockout on the Pokemon you're looking for. Lugia and V-Star, get that out of here. Goodra, get that out of here. This poison deck cooks, dude. Jeremy, what do you think about the poison deck?
The Super Fang attack seems crazy. Yeah, this poison. I guess the Garbodor V is probably just the best way to get things poisoned than stuck in the active. Now that a lot of the old poison Pokemon rotated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking, what if I use a Alola Eradicate with Yoga Loop? Could that be a viable deck? What do you think? Super Fang.
That's
Next turn, you Yoga Loop into Super Fang again, and then after that,
that's
Yoga Loop into Super Fang again. Like,
oh my, that's
yo, I'm
crazy.
cooking. Yo, this might be game breaking, dude.
Your opponent doesn't get to play.
Yeah. All right, Jeremy. Let's go ahead and get into your deck, which is called.
Hell's Kitchen. This might be one of the best names I had after the meme blaster from last week. So this is a Arcanine EX deck. It also runs up the Ponyta line from Silver Tempest. It has the ability that once returning a discarded fire energy to increase your fire Pokemon's damage. So you run that with the Demi-Sphere V-Star. That has a V-Star attack that this does 30 for each energy in your discard pile. So you're discarding energies off the Rapidash's ability. You discard off of Arcanine EX's second attack that does 250 and discards 2 energy. And then you have the massive damage with your Simisear V-Star. Yeah, and then you have EXP share if you need to move some energies, the Magma Basins. The one Peonia in the deck because we're Chads and we're running all one of lines other than the Arcanine and Entei. So we need to see those basics, see those evolution lines. We have the most superior draw cards in this format. We have Schoolgirl and Youngster. Yeah, this might be I don't know, this might be one of the
Yeah.
coolest.
I don't know how to feel about four Magma Mason and no Armor Rouge. We got Armor Rouge in the format, and this guy decided not to put Armor Rouge in the deck. But this deck cooks. I like this deck. I don't know how to feel about like the no energy acceleration type business without the Armor Rouge. And XP share kind of cooks. And don't forget about the one Cyclizer for the touring for draw 2 cards. If you would just happen to
Broken.
start it, yeah, I don't know. This is a little bit of an interesting one. Is this guy basing his list off of like what cards he has in real life? Because he's like the three Magma
Yeah.
Bases and then the one gold Magma Basin. Like, come on, like we don't need to see like his energies. Four sort of shield energies and then 11 of the DP energies. Like, sheesh. It's specific. It's specific.
Yeah, exact 60. Copy his real life deck.
Yeah, I know, but this guy's balling, dude. If he had it, the Full Art Serena, the Crown Zenith Raihan and stuff,
Yeah.
or the
Yeah.
Silver Tempest Raihan, yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyone listening, you can tag on the Twitter. Who do you think got the better deck? Which one cooks harder? If you're on YouTube, you can leave it in the comment. But I don't know. These decks are pretty closely matched. Obviously, I don't think anything is gonna beat the Meme Blaster for a really long time. But these decks are still pretty fun and would be fun to play on live. So here's the list on screen if you guys want to go try it on live, as well as the one I'm showing the Poison deck here. It's smaller because we don't have a ton of one ofs. So that is going to end it off for what is he cooking. So let's go ahead and talk about the big topic, EUIC Finals. So Jeremy, why don't we go ahead and start off with the winner and go ahead and give your thoughts.
Yeah, Alex Romancy won with the Arthur deck with a Alolan Vulpix. It's I think I predicted that it will do well, but I didn't think it would do this well. I thought it would have him one like sneak into top 16 or something, but I didn't expect it to win the tournament.
Yeah, I think the Alolan Vulpix was just for Guardy, right? I don't think it was good in any other matchup. But I think every Pokemon in Guardy has an ability besides the Crest. And it was kind of a 50-50 toss-up on whether you're going to play into the Mewtwo V Union or not. But you can just set up one Drapion and one Alolan Vulpix and kind of sweep. Of course, the Duraludon is good. It's pretty much almost an auto win into Lugia, as well as other Arceus decks. So, and you get the Shred, so you don't have to worry about Miltank or whatever. And the one Lumineon for the consistency, I do like the one share and scare. I think it's really good. I see a lot of Arc Duraludon players not running the one share and scare, so it's pretty good. And Jeremy, I know Gio's gonna be happy about this one. The 4 loss city, because we hate Reggie players, even though they don't exist anymore. No, but yeah, the 4 loss city is really good for in terms of just dealing with lost box decks that like can Clara back into Zard or like Clara Sableye, things like that. So the 4 lost city is really good, and no Crystal Cave, which is kind of surprising. I know a lot of Arcturas also like Crystal Cave, but the thing about Crystal Cave is I feel like it was just kind of a bump to other stadiums because I feel like everything is one-shotting or two-shotting you in format anyways, even if you if you get the 30. But yeah, this was again, congratulations to Alex for winning EYC. Really big win over Tord, who's our second place finalist. So we can go ahead and talk about Tord's Gardevoir list. So I'm gonna have to ask you, Jeremy, is this optimal Gardevoir? Yes or no?
Haven't tested it yet, but I think this will be closer to something I would play for Gardevoir. I like having feels Zacian Beast instead of having to fully evolve your Gardevoirs into Shining Arcanas and like all that stuff could just get one shot next turn. I just like that the Zacian is just a basic you can just set up whenever you need, and you don't need to like Geralt on the bench or like Curly on bench to evolve into. The only thing I'm scared of is the one Gardevoir. The one shiny card on the Gardevoir is kind of scary with its prize.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to agree. I think the one shot card on Gardevoir is kind of scary. I think also the one Luminion is kind of scary starting out,
Yeah.
but then he also has the penny. But will he see it? We're not too sure. So there's definitely a lot of what ofs. I understand Tuber Canyon because he only has one of the shiny Arcana, but I feel like is this a good Guardian list? Yes. Is this optimal Guardian list? No, I do not believe so. I just feel like you could do so much. Dude, there's so much more you can do with Gardevoir. Gardevoir is so flexible, which is what's cool.
Yeah.
And when the new expansion comes out with other psychic attackers, we just the sky's the limit for Gardevoir. So congratulations Tord on getting second. And we'll have to see how everyone kind of adapts with Gardevoir. I think a lot of more Mewtwo Venians are going to come because of the Vulpix cheese, as well as Goo and things like that. So yeah. Any last thoughts on Tord's and Gardevoir list?
Yeah, I think the Gardevoir list has a lot to like. It's a new deck. We haven't been playing this deck for like months already, so we just got a new deck. People are still testing it. I think the deck will be more optimized in the future, but for now, this might be one of like the better ways to play the deck. But there will be like it might be different by like tomorrow. There, a lot of people are just still testing this deck out. This Gardevoir
Yeah.
engine is super strong and super flexible.
Absolutely. So that's going to wrap up our EUIC Finals take. So, Jeremy, why don't you go ahead and take us to our next segment?
So next segment is the overrated or underrated. So we'll go over. I'll just bring up a deck, and then we'll discuss if we think the deck is overrated currently or like underrated or maybe improperly rated.
All
So the
right.
first one I think of is Hisuian Goodra Lost Zone. Ooh, what do you think
Mm,
about this deck right now?
I think it's overrated, but for good reason.
Ooh, okay.
I
I think it's the
think
complete opposite. I think this deck's underrated.
no, I think
I think
everyone
this
knows
deck
about
is
it now. I think this thing is
okay.
so strong. This thing wins so many matchups, and it's so hard to kill with Moisture Star, Radiant Greninja. This deck, man, this deck is gross. Okay, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I think this deck is actually insane and potentially one of like the best decks in format. I'm super high on this deck right now, even though I don't enjoy playing Goodra that much. I think this deck is kind of insane.
I know. I remember when this card first came out, everyone's like, "Oh my god, Aiden's gonna play it. It's his type of deck," and I'm like, "Dude, it's boring, and it's still boring. You play it, you sit there, nothing kills you, right? And like,
Yeah,
it's just so sleeper. And you only have to play 3 Mirage Gates, and I got tilted over Crystal Cave being in the deck. And they play one Roxanne. And it's just so gross. Play Melanie, so you have to Mirage it. You attach your first turn. Melanie attach second turn. You don't even need 7 in the Lost Zone. Like, this thing is so gross. I don't know. Some decks are running Avery, some are running this, some are running that.
yeah,
Like, you just don't know. 3 boss. Some decks are running 3 boss. Like, this thing is
yeah,
gross, and I think it's overrated, but for good reason.
yeah, yeah. I think this deck is insanely strong, so I think it's slightly underrated. I think I hold this deck is super high opinion, so I think I might be. I think I'm the one overrating. I might be actually the one overrating this deck right now. Yeah. All right. So the next deck I have is with Miraidon Reggie Alecki. So
Overrated. Overrated.
overrated.
Yeah. I call this deck mid Rhydon for a reason, all right? Because everyone loves Rhydon, and it's so cool. It's the new box legendary,
Yeah,
and everyone wants to play it. And Regieleki VMAXs are $20 now. I think it's overrated. I honestly think it's not that good. You're putting multiple 3
yeah,
prizes out just to one shot V stars, right? And now that Gudra's coming up, now everyone's gonna put a Galarian Zapdos back in with Sky Seal Stone. Like, you're looking at just 3 to 4 prizers there, just sitting there. And then it feels bad if you don't hit Cram, to hit, don't hit
yeah,
Electric Generator, Pencil Sharpener.
yeah,
So I think it's overrated. I know it's cool. I wish the deck was good because it's cool and it's new and it's different. It's a turbo deck because I love turbo, but the deck is still
yeah.
overrated because it's bad.
Yeah. I've been playing this deck a lot, and I have to agree that the deck's kind of overrated. It's the deck. I was included Flying Pikachu in my list because if they just have any fighting type Pokemon, you just scoop the game. That the deck is literally just like You just lose every matchup. They have a flying
Yeah.
type Pokemon, so yeah.
They're making
I've
my
been
Raikou
testing out, but
$7. They're making my Raikou be $7. They used to be $1,
yeah,
Jeremy. They used to be $1.
yeah, yeah. I think this deck is over. It's like a strong deck. People were, in the beginning are underrating it, but now like people are over. I don't think it's
It
like people
is
thought
the
the deck was trash.
Bomberaidons, man. $30 down the drain.
Yeah, yeah. I think the deck you described well is mid. It's people. It's not the best deck. It's okay. It's not. It's not a weak deck, but it's
It's
definitely
good,
not.
just not but
Yeah,
not great. It's good but not great.
it's not the. It should not be the most expensive deck in the format. Yeah, and then the last deck I have is Lost Zone Giratina. What do you think about this deck?
La Santina is underrated.
Yeah,
I think a lot of everyone is. I think Sablezard's coming back, and I think Lost Sun Greninja with like Kyogre or Dragonite. I think it's all strong, and it has every right to be strong. But do you know why I think Tina is underrated? Because Goodra
why?
exists. Because Goodra
Yeah, exactly.
exists. Goodra sucks at the Tina. Because all they have to do is either Star Wreck the front one, that Rolling Iron, or boss and kill the other one. Like Tina is so
Yeah,
good at Goodra, it's crazy. But the issue with Tina is sometimes it's too slow, right? Which makes sense.
yeah,
Because if you break, you don't see colors, it's over. I mean, someone running Lumineon, but no Pokegears kind of sucks. But if Goodra becomes as popular as I think it is, Tina will come back with vengeance, and
exactly.
I might bring Tina to Fresno Regional. So we'll have to see. But yeah, I think it's underrated for sure.
Yeah, I have to agree it's underrated. I with the how the way that format's developing with more I feel like there's more Gardevoirs and more Gudras. I feel like Giratina's in like a lot better position than they were at the beginning where everyone's just on Lost Box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Lost Box is gonna be less and less popular as Goodra becomes more popular. But I think Lost Box
Yeah.
will still be around 15 to 20%.
Yeah. It's like a rock paper scissors with the three Lost Zone decks. You have Giratina beats Gudra, Gudra beats Lost Zone in the box, and then Lost Box
Beats
has possible
Tina.
matchup against.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or just just close everything up and just play Guardy.
Yeah, just like Guard. Yeah.
All right, so that's going to be end of that segment, and let's end off our Pokemon TCG segment talk with our BDIF prediction. Um, so we're gonna go to a Pokemon League Cup this week, and I don't know, man. I'm gonna go with Goodra. I'm riding or dying on this Goodra. Good Lost Zone, Goodra V-Star is BDIF and deserves to die. More people better play Tina.
You,
You know what's good? You know
yeah.
what's good at Gudra? The Raichu V and Regieleki in right on
Oh yeah.
Regieleki. Yeah, that thing
The
one
one
shots
shot.
anything in format.
Yeah, I think for this week, I think Guja's like intent maybe the probably the I'm not sure if it will be the best by the end of the format, but for now, I think Guja might be like the best player right now. Well, Dust is still developing while the metagame's still shifting. I think Guja's in a really solid spot.
Yeah. I mean, they got rid of Greninja too. Like I forgot about that as well. It's gross. It's gross. You gotta play Manaphy against them. You gotta save all your
Yeah.
ropes, save all your bosses. I have to put Choice Spell to my Sablezard deck now because before I thought I didn't need it. Like it's so cringe. But yeah, that's gonna end off our Pokemon TCG. Jimmy, do you have any last words?
I think that's it. This we're probably gonna be testing a lot more. So by like next week or something, we will probably have more, even like a more in-depth understanding of the meta and stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely, I would have to agree. All right, let's go ahead and talk about our last game of the podcast that we're here to talk about. A shout about League of Legends, Jeremy. New patch notes. I know last week we said that it was MSI patch, but now we are in the MSI patch, the Mid-Season Invitational. That big international tournament that only 30% of the world cares about of League of Legends. But they're trying to make it bigger, send more teams. It's in London this year, which is kind of cool because we just had London EUIC. So let's go ahead and talk about 13.8. Jeremy, what do you want to talk about first here?
I think I want to cover some of the bot lane changes. I think the So I'll just go with the first change is Ezreal, 2 base AD. It might not sound like
Yo.
much, but it's 280.
Hey, you remember what
Yeah,
happened when they removed 280 from Graves?
yeah. You went from most broken jungler to like
The worst
sub
jungle.
50%. Yeah, to like the worst jungler in like 280 change.
Yo, you know what they
Yeah,
say about 280 changes, man?
yeah. They flipped the meta, like that's like 280 changes, like 6% win rate change.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, and then I'll go probably there's the Janna change. The support meta is actually sort of interesting right now. You can play both Enchanters and Hard Engage, although Rakan still kind of does both and kind of the best support right now. But I do like seeing the Janna changes. Janna has been historically been a good matchup against Rakan since you can always just you have Tornado, you have Shield, they can never like one shot you, and you have your ult. So yeah, I want to see. It'll be cool if we see Janna picked.
More W pick, more W poke is going to be better for Janeth.
Yeah,
So for those of you listening, Janna's W Zephyr, her magic damage got increased by 10 per level, and the AP ratio went from 50% to 60%. So you start Spell Thieves, you're going to be doing a little bit more damage, maybe 15 to 20 more damage, which is really good for the laning phase, especially when you're doing an Enchanter v Enchanter, and ADs are running Sword Triple Pot or even Boots 4 Pot. It's really important. Every damage counts when you're playing
yeah.
Enchanters.
Yeah, the extra damage is gonna matter a lot since you're always on like Airy and like you're on Airy and Scorch, so like damage adds up. So yeah, to make a laning better, make her lane a decent amount better. And then I want the next falling change is Kog'Maw. The passive change probably doesn't matter that much, but I think the E also has it probably doesn't change that much. But the one I will cover is Q. Although it's normally the Q isn't that important, the top lane meta is sort of weird. There's a lot of bruisers, but there's also a lot of tanks in the meta. Like there's a lot of Scion top lane and stuff. So I don't think this will put him back in the meta, but maybe this having an extra second off your Q will just have enough give you like good enough damage buffing to some of the tank matchups in the game. Yeah,
Yeah, but I think Kog'Maw still sucks as a champion. So,
yeah. Probably still sucks. Hey,
we'll have
maybe
to
with the
see.
Janna buff. With Janna, maybe the Janna buff, so we can play both of them together. Maybe you can scale up and go crazy on him late game, but I just want to see more. It's always nice to see more. See some buffs since they're in league. They normally tend to nerf champions instead of buffing weak champs. So yeah, and then last change is probably Leona. Leona's surprisingly not being picked that much in support, and like compared to like when even though like Rakan and Nalus are being picked a lot. So normally we see them together, but yeah, Leon's a little slacking behind compared to the
Yeah,
other
but we love watching
engaged
Leona,
supports right
though,
now.
right? We love watching Leona.
I love Heck 5 E ult. Yeah, we going in. It's a lot more interesting to watch than the Enchanter supports for sure.
All right, I'm
And
gonna go
then
ahead and talk about the second most important role, jungle, obviously. First, to start off with nerfs. We have two nerfs. Uh, Jarvan first. Ever since Jarvan kind of got buffed with the huge changes, they got to nerf him down a little bit. So first, they're gonna nerf his damage. So they want to still make him utility, but you don't want to make him where he's tanky and one-shotting people. So his base stats, they lowered his AD growth from 0.4 to 3. So only getting 380 when he levels up, as well as the Dragon Strike, his Q. Physical damage, they lowered it by 10 per level, which is going to slow him down just a little bit, but he's still going to be. I think he's still going to be picked. I think he's a lot of outplay potential and a lot of setup potential for mid laners. So, mid laner and top laners, even in bot lane. But I think Jarvan's still going to be strong. I think the only weakness Jarvan has right now is his clear speed. So if he plays into a full clear jungler, he's got to out macro them. But he's really good at it, and if you have a good synchronized team, he rolls.
yeah,
So anything on Jarvan?
yeah. That's what he's losing a lot of damage, but I think I overall would take like the changes overall when considering like the patches where he got basically additional tank stats. I think yeah, I mean he's Jarvan. You'll always see like some sort of play when your opponent picks two mobile carries, you just hit alt on them and you just win the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kane. I think this is more of a solo queue nerf. Kane's never been really played in pro. Maybe like Red Kane once by, you know, those that we shall not be named. But yeah, Shadow Assassin, his just got changed. The move speed is from 80% to 70%, and then the cooldown is from 8 seconds to 10 seconds. So a little less of like kind of like going in, Eing out, going in, Eing out. Because you build a lot of CDR and Kane with Yomus and like Eclipse or like whatever you want to go, Gore Drinker or whatever. Blue Kane Gore Drinker if you will. But yeah, I think this is more of a solo queue change. But let's talk about Kha'Zix. This is the second patch in a row now. I know Jaden talked about Kha'Zix last patch, and he's getting another buff. But I don't think it matters. I think Rengar is still the better assassin. His physical damage, they added 10 per level, and that's it. Well, his clear speed gets like increased by a couple seconds. But yeah, I still think Rengar or like Evelyn or any other assassin is better. Jeremy, what do you think?
Yeah, he spams Q a lot, so I guess it's like a good amount of damage increase, but I don't know how I feel about Kha'Zix right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and we can't go without an MSI without our Lilia being changed, and her passive. It's all about her passive, and basically she got buffed. Monster damage cap went from 50 to 70 early game, so this is way more damage in the early game. And then the healing against monsters went from 24 to 75 to with 5.4% AP ratio to 39 to 54 with 15% AP ratio, which is huge, by the way, because you're getting more healing in the early game where you don't have any AP, right? But then you're getting less in the early game when you have AP, but the AP ratio is higher, which means I think overall you're getting more healing. But this means that she has to build more AP items, right? She can't like build like Deadman's or like Fawn early, which is fine because she's an AP jungler and she deserves that. And then her healing against champions is 6 to 120, from 18% to 6 to 90, 30%. So early game is still the same amount of healing, but late game, if you build AP, you're probably netting more healing. So this is big for Lilia because I believe that, Demonic Embrace plus like maybe Landry's or whatever, it's strong, right? But I think what she lacks is her damage because they're forced to build tank. But now with more healing, maybe they can be more lenient on building more AP. But I always love to watch Lilia because I'm a full clear kind of jungler besides when I play Kindred. So Jeremy, what do you think?
Yeah, I love watching Lilia play. I think that her kids is super cool. She just runs fast. The Q you need to like make sure you hit it, and then her ult is like, her ult is really fun to like. Her ult is just really fun to watch. Yeah.
Yep, and we can't go we can't go in MSI without busting Italy, so Chinese teams have a chance. So
Yeah.
base armor increase from 28 to 32, as well as armor growth from 4.7 to 5. So just more armor. Just I don't know, man. We can't. With what they want to see Italy that bad, right? But if we over buffer, the Chinese solo queue is screwed. So like, I mean, what 80 like 80 jungler? A lot of the junglers being played right now are AD, right? So
Yeah.
this is pretty good. And you know what, Jeremy? You know what champion didn't get touched? And I'm surprised they did it because we're going to international event.
Which yeah.
Viego.
Oh yeah, Viego's like the Viego Menaces where you just 1v9 the game somehow, no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be it
Yeah.
for patch highlights. If you want to check out other patch notes, or if you want to check out the patch notes for yourselves, you can go ahead and do it. It's on their official website. Yeah, but the main nerfs are probably Rakan and Jarvan, I would say. Asol is strong, but I feel like not in pro. I think he's just kind of like a noob killer right now. And of course the
Yeah.
Malphite nerf because Malphite, I don't know what they did to Malphite, man. That thing is gross. But yeah, let's go ahead and go into skin review. Jeremy, why don't you start us off with skin review?
So we start off with the Dawnbringer skins. We have Dawnbringer Renekton. I think the skin is sick. I love playing Renekton. I love the Dawnbringer skin line. I think, especially considering the other Nightbringer skin has Nasus in it too. I love the Lord, and it's like I just think it's super sick.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Renekton too. I think I think the muse around him with like R5 Renekton and like
Yeah.
I think he's fun to play, and Borg Prowler's Claw
Yeah.
is like really fun to blow up every AD carry in your path. Other than that, though, it is Renekton. He is a pain to flame against, and top lane, the jungler is probably coming to your lane. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
Dawnbringer is sick. The other Dawnbringer skin is Dawnbringer Vayne. To be honest, I think they could have given the skin to someone else. I think I think these skins should have been picked. They should have shown skins that were, I guess, pro played kind of catered, because it's like an MSI patch, right? They could have picked like I don't know. I mean, they have the new Kai'Sa skin coming out for MSI, but maybe like uh Dawnbringer Zeri. Zeri hasn't gotten a skin in a while. But it's still sick. I think the skin is still sick, but someone else could have used it. And yeah, that's my thoughts on Dawnbringer Vayne.
Yeah, Dawnbringer Vayne is super nice, but I think the problem with a lot of the Dawnbringer plus like a like female is like they kind of all kind of start matching, looking the same. They have a Lily one, they have a Karma one. They kind of start looking super similar. So I like it when they have it on like Renekton, where like he doesn't get this type of skin often, while like Vayne kind of does.
Yeah. But Jarvan is sick. Nightbringer Jarvan.
Jarvan,
This
oh
thing is
yeah,
sick. We're seeing this at MSI for sure. I haven't picked this one up personally, but I might. I'm thinking about picking this one up.
yeah.
The splash is sick. The in-game is sick. The chromas are sick. Everything about Nightbringer and Nasus. Let's talk about Nasus too, because man, they did a really good job on both of these skins, and both of these champions really deserve it. Nasus doesn't have too many great skins. Space Group was kind of funny, but man, I think
Yeah.
Nasus really brings out just kind of like what Nasus is, you know?
Yeah, these two Nightbringer skins are insane. The Jarvan one's super nice. The I guess Nightbringer Nasus, he already has sort of red skin with the Inferno Nasus, but this skin looks so cool. I think I already have that one, but I might even pick this one up too, even though I don't play Nasus that much in Summer's Rift. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me show the YouTube viewers the chromas real quick. They're really well made. And let's go ahead and get into our last topic. MSI bracket has just been announced and released, and we are rooting for Golden Guardians to advance to the next. I guess I don't know. It's played in groups, right? So the groups of
Yeah.
MSI. Jeremy, first thoughts on Group A?
Group A, well, I don't think I'm a biggest Golden Guardian fan, but I think
They're
they will
not
have to
making it.
qualify through they can make it through LCQ.
They can make it to LCQ.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure they'll top the group there, but they can make it through LCQ, I hope.
Yeah. It kind of sucks that PSG and DFM are playing each other first. I
Yeah.
think both teams are really cool and really fun to watch. LJL is really underrated, but at the same time, PSG's super cracked.
Yeah.
If anything, PSG probably advances in upper, and G2 will have to go through LCQ.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
G2's current form, maybe.
Hot take. I think PSG will advance, but only time will tell. Golden Guardians might have to make it by beating G2, which is probably not happening.
G2 hasn't been looking too hot, but they also don't have much time because I think NSI starts in like next week or in 2 weeks. So yeah, the G2 doesn't have much scrim time. They were not looking hot in playoffs, so
Not at all.
maybe there's a chance. There's a chance.
Yeah,
Might
but
be
Golden Guardian
copium,
against
but there's a
Gambit
chance.
though, against Gam. Ooh.
I'd get the Gigabyte Marines. The
Yeah.
Gigabyte. Yeah. Always nice seeing Levi. Gigabyte Marines always
Yeah.
super fun to watch. Love watching. Levi's insane.
It's cool
Yeah.
to see R7 too, though. R7's pretty sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up here, everyone. Thank you guys so much for listening. Another short episode. I am so sorry about that. But next week we'll be talking medicals for Orlando and things like that, as well as actually having a local recap. And we'll continue to grind out our Fresno regional test group. But yeah, if you guys enjoy the podcast, make sure to go ahead and drop a follow and subscribe if you're on YouTube. We are also on Twitter and Instagram if you want to go follow there. But yeah, Jeremy, would you like to say anything else?
I think that's pretty much it. Excited for MSI. Excited to test more too.
All right, thank you guys so much for listening to the Donbozos podcast, and we'll see you all next week. Bye bye.
See ya.